Yo, what is up, you guys? It's your boy Shieldcoomer, and in this video we are going to cover a very tricky boss, Nymue. For us, this was the 5th mythic boss that we killed. Happened in week 2. And honestly caused a lot of issues, not gonna lie. Tricky boss. Mechanics are mostly quite simple, I would say. However, the boss comes with a lot of personal responsibility. There's a lot of things to dodge. There's a lot of things to assign as well, such as, how much damage you're gonna designate to each of the ads and stuff like that. Main change compared to Heroic is the fact that there is an extra ad in the middle behind the boss room, so that means that you cannot put bombs there, and it also means that you will have to send a team there to kill that ad as well, because that ad will also deal pulsating damage to the whole raid. So essentially the whole idea of the fight is that basically that extra ad complicates things further, and together with extra flowers and stuff. So let's take a look how it goes. I've also decided to do this video, I'm recording it a little bit differently. Usually I take recording and I just do a voiceover over it, but this time I decided to do a voiceover over the video itself while I'm watching it. So it's slightly different. It will allow me to pause and kind of discuss some things that I might want to talk about. But yeah, here basically, hopefully your own raid leaders and your raid team will assign you where to ramp. My ramps were mostly assigned for... So I'm playing Mindbender, so my timings were much looser, right? My ramps were assigned for the Rain, or whatever you call Viridian Rain, or I don't know what it's called actually, the ability. But yeah, it basically deals damage to a couple of random players, and it just overlaps with a high number of flowers, so the ramp there has a lot of value, because you're basically able to cover two things at once, kinda. People will just be taking a lot of damage here because they're soaking, they're running through the lines, they're dodging and stuff like that. Basically, the whole kind of gist of the fight is that obviously you're gonna have to dodge beams. That's probably the hardest part of the fight, consistently dodging beams. On top of dodging the exploding flowers and stuff. And you're assigned, a side here. Obviously you can use weak auras, or you can just remember where to go. There's a couple of nice weak auras already out there that deal with these assignments. That's not that complicated to make. This is just a standard weak aura with assignments, nothing too special. You can even make like a custom one pretty easily. My first assignment was on the right ad, looking at the boss. As you can see, soaking flowers, healing your team. We had 2 healers here, because in total we had 5, so there was always like an extra healer on some side. It was pretty chill, honestly, this part, as long as people did, decent amount of damage. And then here I actually had like my ultimate penitence was assigned here. I just kind of used it like this. This is not ideal, I tried to put out as much atonements as I can. The thing is, I have a ramp incoming very soon, so I was not able to use like 2 atonements and get like a decent value out of my ultimate penitence. But ultimate penitence is still good there, because it will keep these like 7-8 people alive like 100%. And it will also deal significant amount of damage to the boss. And then heading into, the another evangelism ramp, our second of the fight. Just standard procedure, guys. It looks a little bit slow here, but it's all kind of on time. And you can see I missed the hunter and rogue, which is kind of a mistake. It is tricky, right? Sometimes you just get cocked by radiance, and it is what it is. Not much you can do about it. You can obviously, like, what I suggest is, if there's people that are gonna be staying outside of your range, I strongly suggest like ramping with a rupture onto them, and then kind of leaving the melees for that radiance. And you can do 1 melee radiance and then 1 ranged radiance, just to make sure you pick up any range that you missed. I also like to rupture tanks, just to get that like instant value on the rupture and the atonements, because I know they're going to be taking damage. But that's honestly more like paddy. That's more padding than anything else. It's not always the best option. And here it gets interesting, right? So here it gets quite interesting, because here we're going to be doing the quote-unquote special assignment, where we're running in the middle. PI was assigned to the rogue here, and just killing this ad as soon as possible. Disc is pretty nice for that. You just go in here, deal some damage, and do a lot of healing. And the longer this ad lives, the harder this is, but we kind of blew it up here again. you know, assassination rogue with the PI. I mean, it just melted these bosses. So yeah, that was the second round of ads. And there's gonna be one more if you're on pace, and then the boss should be dead. Of course, you do have to have quite a bit of damage for that, which luckily we did. So yeah, just throwing some Kalos. I'm very careful here not to overuse my radiances, because my ramps, as you can see, my evangelism ramps go pretty soon after these phases. So basically other people had their cooldowns assigned there instead of me. Obviously you might be assigned to do this ramp as well. There's also a secret tech that we weren't utilizing here, or at least I wasn't, but if you have an Aug Evoker, what you can do is you can give the that buff, what's it called? Was it Spatial Paradox or something? The buff from Augment Evokers that gives you like 40-yard range or something, and basically, sorry, doubles your range. I mean, yeah, it gives you 40 because it doubles it, right? And our range is already 40, so technically it'll be 80, and you can pretty much cover like the whole raid during the intermission by yourself, which is pretty insane. I haven't utilized this, so I'm not sure exactly how it works, but you know, I'm sure if you look up some more POVs and if you know, look it up a little bit, you can probably see somebody doing that. I heard guilds are doing that, so it's just something that you guys can do if you feel like there's need to. I personally feel like this was more than fine, but you know, no reason not to, you know, min-max things if possible. My ramps weren't assigned there anyway, so there wasn't really much point into it, but if your ramps are assigned on the intermission itself, you can basically hear the whole raid team, even if you're not, you know, specifically assigned to a single ad. And yeah, again, here, just gotta be careful about the frontals and swirlies, and not to go over too many lines. This healing is quite intensive, again, I will say. Here, sadly, Rogue was out of range. We had some roster changes last second and stuff, so, you know, PI was a bit scuffed, like we didn't have the opportunity to pre-plan everything, but as you can see, even without, like, you know, without these minor optimizations, the boss still, like, is pretty fine HP-wise. And we were here late here with damage, yeah, we were pretty late with the damage. So that was a bit spooky, not gonna lie, but we made it, and that's pretty much, like, the hardest part of the fight, I would say, that last intermission. Just intermissions in general, it's, you gotta make sure that everybody, you know, gets their damage in and their healing in. And here again, I'm conservative with the healing because I have a ramp here, and this ramp is very important because the damage starts ramping up hardcore now. Like, it just, you will see how much damage the boss will deal now, because the boss is kind of meant to be dead at this point. So yeah, here's our last big ramp, and Rogue is dying, so I'm just trying to cover him with the Rapture, as you can see. Throwing out a Radiance, just a standard ramp, you know. I'm also using Tears Trinket, which is pretty good during ramps, I would say. It's nice because it also gives haste to the team, and to you as well. So I do kind of like it for that. And here I also get a bomb. Honestly, here I could have just played it like more lazy and just kind of stay here and just heal, but I decided to play it safe and just move out anyway. There was a goblin jump over the beam, by the way. You can do that, and yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the kill. It got a little bit messy towards the end, but I think we did pretty okay overall as a team, and me personally. And yeah, I hope you guys found the video helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you got any questions or anything, please do let me know. And I'll catch you on the next one, lads and lassies. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.